Hi everyone, Quadian here. Chemistry with Quadian, it's our channel for chemistry students from all over the world. We will teach you every day about all of chemistry theory lessons. Subscribe our channel and press the bell button for daily lectures updates.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss our new topic, that is periodic relationships among the elements. In this topic we will discuss what are the isoelectronic species and what is Z effect, effective nuclear charge. This lecture is especially for the beginners. So let's move on. This is the periodic table of elements. You know that chemists had to deal with these elements, and you should know that when these elements were discovered. Some of the elements were discovered in the ancient times, some in the Middle Ages, and some in the late centuries. This is all about the general information that a chemist should know. The elements that were shown in the dark gray color, these were discovered in the very old ages like iron, copper, silver, gold, carbon, sulfur, tin, lead, etc. And the elements that were discovered in the late centuries and the research is in nowadays is also going on. These are from the actinide series, and many elements are still missing and scientists are trying to discover them. Ground state electronic configuration of the elements. Every element has its ground state electronic configuration. Ground state electronic configuration help us to predict the chemical properties of the element. Now this is the 1A group. You know that there are total 8 groups in the periodic table, 1A to 8A, and there are 7 periods in the periodic table. In the periodic table, in every period, the number of shell increases. And the ground state electronic configuration of the group 1A element is NS1. N is the principal quantum number. Basically, the configuration is S1. Every shell in 1A group has outermost configuration S1. And here is the principal quantum number that show the shell number, or you can say the energy. The first group, the first period have S1, second period has 2, third has 3, 4 has 4, 5 has 5 shell in the atom. The ground state electronic configuration of the second 2A group is NS2. And the 3A is NS2, 3P1. 4A has NS2 and P2, 5 has P3, 6 has P4, 7 has NS2 and P5, and the last and the noble gas group has NS2 and P6. This is the most stable configuration because here the octet is complete. Now comes the transition series. They have D1 to D5 and then to D10 electronic configuration. D10 and D5 are stable because they are half fill and complete fill. Now the lanthanide series has 4F and actinide have 5F configuration. Now you know that there are 4 blocks in the periodic table: S, P, D and F. These blocks contain different elements. The elements that are from 1A to 8A, they are called the representative elements. You can say that S block and P block element represent the representative elements. Mostly the noble gas show exceptional behavior towards the general trends because their octet is complete. So the representative element mostly include from 1A to 7A. Noble gas have exceptional behavior. Now transition series is from 3D, 4D and 5D, and they are represented in the blue regions. In the transition series or D block, here zinc, cadmium and mercury also show the exceptional behavior because they have complete D10 electronic configuration, so they also don't follow the general trend. Now cerium series is called lanthanide series after lanthanide, and after 89 the series is called the actinide and they are represented in the pink. This is the general description of the periodic table. Before discussing any topic, you have a clear view about the periodic table. In periodic table, the 3 blocks S, D and F, they are totally metals, and P block include metal, non-metal and metalloids. So you can say that most of the periodic table consists of metals. 2/3 of the periodic table consists of metal, while 1/3 consists of only non-metals. Now you have to discuss the electronic configuration of cations and anions of the representative elements. Representative elements mean S and P block elements. Now sodium, you know, have electronic configuration of neon and 3s1. It has electronic configuration similar to neon. So instead of written full configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, we written only any within the brackets and then the outer configuration 3s1. Now the sodium, it tend to lose its one electron to attain the noble gas configuration, because every element want to attain or achieve the stable configuration. So by losing its outermost one electron, it attains the electronic configuration of neon. Every element of 1a and 2a and 3a, they want to lose electron, while the elements from the last three groups 5, 6 and 7, they want to achieve electron. Similarly, calcium, it has 4s2 outermost electronic configuration and has argon 4s2. So it needs 2 electron to achieve argon electronic configuration. So calcium is stable in calcium 2 positive, because here it attains the electronic configuration of similar to argon. Aluminium similarly lose 3s2 3p1. It has outermost electronic configuration. In the third shell, 3s2 and 3p1. It loses all its 3 electrons to get the noble electronic configuration similar to neon. So you can say atom lose electron so that cations has a noble gas outer electronic configuration. Cation lose their electrons to get the previous row noble gas electronic configuration. Similarly, you know, hydrogen has 1s1. So hydrogen gains 1 electron to get electronic configuration of helium, because helium also is a noble gas and has configuration of 1s2, that is stable. Its orbital is completely filled. Fluorine has 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. It has 1 electron less than to the octet. So it tend to gain 1 electron, and its configuration F negative is now equal to neon. Oxygen has 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So you can say that oxygen gains 2 electron to get electronic configuration of neon, and it will now have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and its charge will be O2 negative. So you can say that similarly with the case with the nitrogen gains 3 electron to get neon configuration. So atoms gain electrons so that the anion has a noble gas outer electron configuration. So the elements from 5, 6 and 7 gain electron to get the electronic configuration of the noble gas next to them, and the group 1a, 2a and 3a lose electron to get electronic configuration of the noble gas previous to them. So you can say that 1a group has +1 oxidation state, 2a has +2, 3a has +3, 7a has -1, 6a has -2, and nitrogen family has -3 oxidation state, because they gain 2 electron to get them stable. There are some exceptions like hydrogen. It is above lithium and sodium, but it gains 1 electron to get helium electronic configuration. Similarly, halogens mostly have -1 oxidation state, but when they combine with the oxyanions, they show +1 charge. But they become stable by gaining 1 electron, you can say. Isoelectronic. Now, what are isoelectronic species? Isoelectronic species are those that have same number of electrons and hence the same ground state electronic configuration. How they become isoelectronic? Sodium positive, by losing its outer shell electron, it becomes neon. Aluminium 3 positive also has electronic configuration similar to neon. F negative also has electronic configuration similar to electron. So sodium N positive, aluminium 3 positive and F negative, these three atoms are isoelectronic because they have same electrons in the outermost shell now. Similarly, O2 negative also has electronic configuration of neon. Some other species N3 negative has. So Na positive, aluminium 3 positive, F negative, O2 negative, N3 negative, they all are isoelectronic with the neon because their electronic configuration is the same. What neutral atom is isoelectronic with H negative? This is for you. H negative is 1s2. Same electronic configuration as helium. So helium has H negative is isoelectronic with helium gas. When a cation is formed from an atom of a transition metal, electrons are always removed first from the ns orbital and then from the n-1 d orbital. Because you know that when we consider 3D series, for example, it has electronic configuration 3D and 4s. As 4s is present outside in the fourth shell and 3D is present in the third shell. So electrons are removed easily from the outermost shell. So first electrons are removed from the 4s orbital. Consider iron. It has electronic configuration of argon 4s2 3d6. But iron 2 positive state, it will remove electron from the s orbital. So its configuration is now argon 3d6. Similarly, Fe3 positive loses 3 electrons, 2 from the s and 1 from the d orbital. It has electronic configuration now argon 3d5. Similarly, consider manganese. It has electronic configuration of 4s2 3d5. Manganese 2 positive lose 2 electrons from the s orbital. It is now argon 3d5. Now comes the effective nuclear charge, which is also abbreviated as Z effect. It is a positive charge felt by an electron. You can say it is the net positive charge experienced by an electron in a multi-electron atom. The term effective is used here because the shielding effect of negatively charged electrons prevents a higher orbital electron from experiencing the full nuclear charge. Z effect is equal to Z minus sigma, or you can say Z effect is the atomic number minus the number of inner or core electrons. Core electrons are the electrons that are present in the inner shells. We know that there are two electrons, inner shell electrons and the valence electron. Valence electrons are the outermost electron. Electrons other than outermost or valence electrons are the core electrons. Consider the elements sodium, magnesium, aluminium and silicon. Their atomic number is given, core electron is given. You know, sodium has 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1 electronic configuration. Here, only the 3s1 electron is the valence electron. All other 10 electrons are core electron. So its Z effect is 1 because 11 minus 10, 1. Similarly, you can calculate the Z effect of magnesium, aluminium and silicon. Their atomic numbers are given, their core electrons are given, so and their Z effect are respectively given. For your information, their radius is also given in the picometers. Effective nuclear charge, increases along the period and also along the group, because along the period, as the atomic number increases, the atomic number effect also increases because the total number of core electrons are increased. Now comes the term atomic radii. What is atomic radii? Consider these atoms. This show the metallic radius and This show the covalent radius. You know that atomic radius is basically the size of the atom. You can say that atomic radius of a chemical element is a measure of the size of its atom, usually the mean or typical distance from the center of the nucleus to the boundary of the surrounding shells of electrons. You can see the trend of the elements of the atomic radii. This is the hydrogen, helium. Now consider the second period in which you can clearly see the decrease or increase in the atomic radii. Atomic radii decrease along the period and increase down the group. The reason is that in the along the period from left to right, the nuclear charge increases and the shell remain constant. As the nuclear charge increases, it pulls the outer electron strongly toward itself because the shell is constant. So as a result of this attraction between the nucleus and the outer electrons, the atomic radii become less. While along a group, you can say a family, the atomic radii increases because the number of shell is increasing. One additional shell in every element increases, like sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. In every element, one shell is increasing down the group. So as the shell is increasing, outer electrons are far away from the nucleus. The attraction of the nucleus on the outer electron is less. As a result, the atomic radii increases. You can see the trend or comparison of atomic radii with the ionic radii. Now these are the group 1 elements: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. When they lose their outermost electrons, they have size smaller than their neutral atoms because they have now less electron and the number of proton in the nucleus is now greater in number than the outermost electron, total electrons you can say. So due to the greater pool of nucleus, their size becomes compact. While in case of anions, they have size greater than the neutral atom because they have additional electrons in the shell, and this additional electron cause repulsion between the electron because here there is an imbalance in proton and neutron. Proton become less than electron and electron are negatively charged, so they repel with each other, and as a result of this repulsion, atomic size increases or atomic radii increases. You can say this is the size of the lithium and this is the size of the fluorine, and after losing always smaller than atoms from which it is formed. An anion is always larger than the atom from which it is formed. Greater the positive charge, smaller will be the size. For example, lithium positive and consider magnesium 2 positive. Magnesium 2 positive has smaller size than lithium positive because their 2 electrons are removed. And when you consider magnesium 2 positive and aluminium 3 positive, aluminium 3 positive has smaller radii than magnesium 2 positive because in aluminium 3 positive 3 electrons are removed and the pull of the nucleus on the electron become greater and greater, so their size become smaller and smaller. So cation is always smaller than the neutral atom and anions is always larger than the neutral atom. So this is all about the electronic configuration. Hope so you like this lecture. If you like this lecture, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.